Hi there, Rachael-Jayne Groover here. Welcome to Awaken TV this week. I've hit Australia and I'm in the family office. I've taken over the family den. You can probably see my dad's football photos from back in the day. He was a professional footballer playing Aussie rules here, and my departed mum was a teacher and heaps of books, and my sister, who lives here too, is an artist. I feel like in the thick a family, and for me that is a great thing because I had a wonderful family. I felt like I belonged in my family, and yeah, it's not always the case for everyone, I know. And family relates to the topic that I wanted to cover today, which is around belonging. If you don't feel like you belong, it affects all sorts of areas of your life. Just ask yourself the question for a moment. Do you walk into most situations and feel like you belong somehow? And I don't mean that you have to belong to every group, but the fundamental feeling, the fundamental sense of I belong, that there's something underneath me and that I'm not an alien here, and what have you. So if you've answered no, I often don't feel like I belong, and I often have that come up in my awareness, which makes me feel unsafe or not putting myself fully out into the world or not going for my dreams, this is an episode for you. It is more common than I used to give it credit for. I mean, I'm doing trainings and workshops, and we're going deep into the systems, the beliefs, the energetic and physical patterns that hold people back from really giving their full gifts. And belonging, that sense of, I don't know if I belong here, happens in every single workshop to many, many people. So I've got a couple of tips for you to sort of work through if this is something that is common for you, or maybe for some of you, it's not always, but you have a situation or you have your workplace or a particular group of people that you feel like you don't belong. And how do I maneuver around that? How can I come back to my own sense of safety? Well, the first thing that you need to look at is the ego structure, the separate self structure is the thing that creates this feeling of I'm not part of, I'm not part of the whole, I don't belong. So it's not you that is creating, the true you, the divine you, your higher self, your soul is not creating this feeling like you don't belong. It's an ego structure that keeps you safe. Now, how do you unpeel something that makes you feel unsafe? Well, the first thing you can do is look at the addictive pattern of this ego structure. And one of the great ways to start doing that is I was taught by one of my mentors, Chloe Madanis, who says that there is many different needs of the human being, but there are certain needs that everybody has. The top four is I need significance. I want to feel significant. I want to have love and connection. I want to feel uncertainty. I need some variety in my life, and certainty, which is safety and security. And those four things get heavily locked up into addictive patterns. So if you have this pattern, and you know it's a pattern because you're hearing my words in a whole different way today, that you tend to run this, that I don't belong, you want to look at how that is serving you. Because for many, maybe not you, for many, it is a sense of significance that it brings. Like, I'm different, I'm unique, I don't fit in here. And that brings some significance to you. Maybe it brings significance to the group because you're always saying, I don't feel like I belong here, and people have got to put focus on you to make you belong. Might be love and connection, where interestingly enough, the feeling of not belonging may look like it's about not getting love and connection, but to run, I don't belong, I need more, I need more connection, makes you get love and connection. Or uncertainty. Belonging and feeling like you don't belong can bring a lot of uncertainty, variety. What's going to happen here? I don't feel safe and secure. And of course, safety and security Well, you kind of get that when it's always the same story. I don't belong. I don't feel like I belong yet again. So these 4 needs are playing into this addictive pattern that the ego structure has, which is telling your brain and your body, I don't belong. Well, we've got to bust that if you really want to share your gifts in a full, expanded way. You want the relationships that you want the financial abundance to flow in that you want. You've got to be able to feel at some level that you belong here on this earth with everybody else. So when you look at the addictive pattern, I want you to see which of those 4 needs is what is holding this, is gluing this to you. Remember, it's not who you are, it's the ego structure that's got this addictive pattern. And is it significance? It makes you significant in a way when you're honest. Is it love and connection? Is it safety and security? Or is it uncertainty? Then when you've been able to look at that, I mean sincerely look at that over the next few days, then you can start coming into a place of taking responsibility that this is a pattern that has been created through your body-mind structure. It's not true. You do belong on this planet. You do belong here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. And you can start to breathe into the self-responsibility of there's something I need to clean up, clear up, do my work around, to not run this pattern and project it all over everybody else. Because when you say, I don't belong here, often the finger gets pointed out, like what's here that's making me not belong. And the story, well, the truth of the matter is you are creating that story. Now, it happens early on in your life. This is how it can relate to family. Maybe you weren't treated like you belonged in your family of origin. Maybe you took that into primary school or had some pretty significant experiences when you were younger that said you don't belong. I know I had those. I know I had plenty of those. I think we've all had plenty of those. But what are you doing to perpetuate that story and not take self-responsibility that it is a story and that it is history and it's got nothing to do with the truth of who you are right now, right now, right now. So when you look at the addictive pattern, and you can start taking some self-responsibility for, I'm running this. This is not about the group that I'm in, because every group I tend to go in, I feel the same way. Well, there is a common denominator in that. Then what you can do, on a practical level, let's say you don't feel like you belong at your workplace. And maybe you are looking at leaving that space and moving on, and that's fine. But what can I do now that winds me back into a place of feeling I belong, and so I don't have to run this pattern so much? Well, one thing you can do is look around your office, look around at the people that are there, and ask yourself, who out of everyone here do I feel like most gets me? Who out of all of these people who seem like strangers, who out of all of them feel like I do feel a belonging sense to, I do feel a safety, I do feel a connection with? And that person will probably come up in your mind. You can think of it now. Maybe it's not your workplace, but it's your family, or it's your friendship circle, or it's your industry. It could be all sorts of places. And when you tune into that one person, it connects you in to the whole. And why does it do that? Because when you feel the belonging with one person, it is the whole in a way, right? It can take you into the truth that you are loved, that you are connected. The nature of you is connection and interconnectivity and love itself. And so that one person can be the doorway to feel it more with other people. Now, I'm not saying once you feel that connection with one person, now you've got to look around and do the same thing with everyone. Oh, I connect with this person. Oh, I connect with this person. Oh, I connect with this person. No. It's just about letting your body and your mind relax the pattern of I don't belong here, and there's something wrong with everybody else, or something wrong with me, that becomes that addictive pattern yet again. It's relaxing that into a new way of being. And then once you're able to hold that, let's do it for once every day this week. The group that you don't feel like you belong to, you feel that person you do feel a connection with, at least once a day for 7 days, you will start to notice this pattern unwinding. And as you do, I'd love to hear from you of what you notice. You can come back and post a link below, post a comment below, or if you have any comments or questions right now, post that below. And I'll just finish with this story that's been going for a long time, and it probably has been going for a while in certain situations. If you are still listening to me now, it is time to break it. It is only hurting you. It's not hurting anyone else. And you can do more about it than you know. You can do more to awaken into the truth that you belong. It is the nature of who you are, is belonging. You think of unity, oneness, whatever you see, the interconnectivity of life. The truth is only you belong. And so when you hear that sound again coming through your mind, coming through your emotional pain body, I'm different, no one gets me, you're going to catch it this time and go, I'm more awake than that. I'm more awake than that. I'm more conscious than that, and I can do something about it. So post a comment below, any questions you have. I wanted to bring this up because I've been seeing it a lot in our trainings over the last few months. Check out our trainings for next year. As we wind up this year, we are putting lots of dates on the calendar in Australia and the US, in Japan, and possibly some other places. So you can always check that out on my website, Rachael-Jayne.com. But for now, I will say goodbye and get back to my work here as I take over the family office. Feel like I very much belong here. I'm very grateful for that. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week on Awaken TV. Bye for now.